In the silent, crushing depths of the ocean, a high-stakes game of cat and mouse unfolds. A game where the slightest miscalculation can lead to disaster. Picture this: a state-of-the-art Russian submarine, a ghost of the abyss, decides to test the resolve of the United States Navy. It's a bold move, a direct challenge, but as events would prove, it was a very big mistake. This isn't just a scene from a Hollywood movie. It's a reflection of the tense reality playing out beneath the waves. Today, we're diving deep into one such encounter, a story of strategy, technology, and nerve that highlights the incredible capabilities of the U.S. Navy's anti-submarine warfare, or ASW, forces. The challenge began subtly. A U.S. carrier strike group, the heart of American naval power, was on a routine patrol. These groups are cities at sea, centered around a massive aircraft carrier and protected by a ring of steel, cruisers, destroyers, and crucially, their own hunter-killer submarines. They are the ultimate projection of power, but they are also a prime target. And lurking somewhere in the vast, dark expanse of the ocean was a Russian submarine, one of the most advanced of its kind, with a mission to find and sink this carrier in a simulated exercise of will. Russian submarines, like the formidable Akula or the newer Yasin class, are engineering marvels. They are designed for stealth, capable of moving with a whisper-quiet electric drive, making them incredibly difficult to detect. Their captains are among the best in the world, masters of the deep, trained to exploit any weakness, any gap in a defensive screen. For this Russian commander, the carrier was the prize. Getting within torpedo range without being detected would be a major propaganda victory, and a stark reminder of their underwater prowess. The U.S. Navy, however, was not unprepared. Anti-submarine warfare is a layered, multidimensional defense system. It starts from space, with satellites scanning the ocean surface for any subtle clues. Then there are the long-range maritime patrol aircraft, like the P-8 Poseidon. These sub-hunters are packed with sophisticated sensors, magnetic anomaly detectors that can sense the metallic hull of a submarine, and sonar buoys that they drop into the water like a net of listening ears. As the Russian sub began its slow, cautious approach, the first layer of this defense network was already on high alert. The P-8 South were methodically patrolling the likely approach corridors, their crews listening intently to the symphony of the ocean, searching for that one discordant note, the faint sound of a submarine. But the real chess match happens underwater. Attached to the carrier strike group are the destroyers, specifically the Arleigh class. These ships are equipped with the SQQ-89 sonar suite, one of the most advanced in the world. It combines a powerful hull-mounted sonar with a towed array sonar that trails for miles behind the ship. This towed array listens to the quieter, lower frequency sounds that submarines are designed to make, providing a crucial early warning. The Russian sub, moving at a crawl, knew about these surface ships. The captain's strategy was likely to use the ocean's own properties, thermal layers, underwater canyons, and high background noise to mask its approach. Water temperature and salinity can bend sound waves, creating shadow zones where a submarine can effectively hide. It's a three-dimensional battlefield, and the Russian commander was using it to his advantage. But the U.S. Navy had another ace up its sleeve. Its most effective sub-hunting asset, its own submarines. A Los Angeles or Virginia-class attack submarine would have been assigned to the strike group, acting as an underwater bodyguard. These American subs are apex predators in their own right, built for one primary purpose: to hunt and destroy enemy submarines. Their sonar operators are legendary, often described as having golden ears, able to distinguish the unique acoustic signature of a specific class of Russian sub from the countless other sounds of the sea. So the trap was set. While the Russian sub was busy trying to evade the surface ships and the patrol aircraft, it was being stalked by a silent hunter it couldn't see. The American sub commander would have received intelligence from the P-8S and the destroyers. giving them a general idea of the Russian sub's location. From there, it was a patient game. The US sub would move into a position to intercept, using passive sonar to remain completely silent, simply listening. The Russian captain, feeling confident, likely increased speed just slightly to close the distance to the carrier. And that's when the mistake was made. Even the quietest submarine makes more noise as it goes faster. The hum of the reactor coolant pumps, the flow of water over the hull, these tiny sounds are enough. For the American sonar operator, it was the aha moment. The signature was confirmed. They had him. What happened next wasn't a hail of torpedoes, but something far more psychologically devastating in this peacetime encounter. The American commander had a choice. They could have simply shadowed the Russian sub, reporting its position back to the strike group, but they decided to send a message. Suddenly, the Russian sonar operator's headphones would have been flooded with an unmistakable sound. The ping of active sonar, not the broad search ping of a destroyer far away, but the sharp, precise, "I've got you" ping of a nearby submarine. It's the underwater equivalent of having a flashlight shine directly in your eyes. In a pitch-black room, it means you are caught. There is no more hiding. To make the point even clearer, the US sub might have then activated its underwater telephone, a system for short-range communication, and sent a simple, chilling message in plain language: "Control, we have contact. Russian submarine bearing 0-9-0, range 5,000 yards." Or perhaps even more pointedly, they might have broadcast the sound of a popular American song. This kind of move is a classic naval tactic. It says, "We see you, we know who you are." And this game is over. For the Russian submarine captain, it was a moment of complete and utter defeat. His mission was a failure. He had been outmaneuvered, outsmarted, and exposed. Every instinct would be to dive deep, change course, and escape. But there is no escaping a modern US attack sub that has you locked in. The American sub would have stayed right with him, a constant, silent reminder of its dominance. After a tense period, the Russian sub would have disengaged and retreated, its crew humbled. The encounter would be logged, analyzed, and become a valuable lesson for both sides. For the US Navy, it was a successful test of their integrated ASW network. The P-8 Poseidon, the Isla Burke destroyers, and the Virginia-class submarine all worked in perfect harmony to detect, track, and neutralize the threat. It proved that no matter how quiet the opposition gets, the multi-layered American defense is ready. These incidents, which happen more often than you might think, are a critical part of modern naval readiness. They are a constant, invisible battle for supremacy in the undersea domain. The ocean is vast and unforgiving, but for those who challenge the US Navy in its depths, they often find that American vigilance runs even deeper. The message sent in these encounters is clear. We are always listening, we are always watching, and we are always ready. Thanks for watching our deep dive today. If you enjoyed this look into the hidden world of submarine warfare, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Let us know in the comments what other naval topics you'd like us to explore. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.